Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again, and I am here today to do a very quick review of the new Supergirl trailer. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but yeah, that trailer was really really bad. I mean, look, I gotta be honest, like, Superman was rushed, it was cut down, it was slop. It was rushed in the sense that, like, there was no setup to the story, they just throw you into it, and it really felt like the second or third movie in a series. And to be honest, like, this movie trailer needed to sell me on Supergirl because I'm not interested in her character at all. I don't care about there's a universe, there's a DC universe. I care about the characters individually before I actually care about it being a universe. And to me, I still don't really care about Superman. I don't care about any of these characters. I want to see more of them. I want to see Superman Part 2 where we actually get to see more than 5 minutes of Clark Kent. You know, I want to see more of him and his parents. I want to see more of Jor-El and all that crap, you know, because they changed the origin for that. They changed that his original dad and mom were, I guess, genocidal maniacs or something. And so this trailer, it's not like it had to be the greatest trailer in the world. It just had to, number one, sell me on Supergirl. Sell me on this character after we see so many, you know, female-oriented movies nowadays. So many, like, constant, non-stop, strong, independent woman movies, you know, where, you know, there's a girl boss. They get to do everything without any consequences. They have no flaws. They have no imperfections. Sell me on this character and why I should care about her. Because, look, I just got done reviewing 10 full moon movies, which I'm editing that video right now. I actually saw this trailer pop up and I had to stop and review it. I watched this one full moon movie. A lot of you guys probably don't even know what full moon movies are if you're just coming here for Supergirl. But there's a very good movie called Dark Angel: The Ascent. And that is a great example of how to do a cool and awesome female character. And I was totally not expecting that movie to be good, but I loved it. And this trailer, though, it showed me a character that I don't... Really, all that I can see about her is that she's cynical, she's not very likable at all, and she's just kind of like a bargain bin version of Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. And I hate to sound like a hater, but this trailer just looks like Guardians of the Galaxy but with Supergirl. I really despise how it looks. There's so many shots that reminded me of The Flash, and that's something that I did not say about Superman, even though there were some very ugly shots in that movie. But there was a sequence in this trailer that looked literally almost exactly like the action sequence where Supergirl is beating up all the bad guys. You know, her first scene, you know, where she breaks out of, like, the prison with the Flash. I can't really remember that movie. I only saw it once. But her very first action scene, put that picture right next to this picture of Supergirl in her costume beating up a bunch of bad guys on this, like, rooftop. It looks almost exactly the same. It's one of the last shots of the trailer. Another thing that I don't like is that she's wearing a trench coat for, I guess she's going to wear that for like half the movie or more. It looks really it looks really gross. It looks really smelly and disgusting. And you know what else is kind of bad about it is that, to me, when I look at trench coats, I look at characters with trench coats, I think about the Trenchcoat Mafia. If you if you guys don't know about the Trenchcoat Mafia, look it up, because those of you who know, you guys know. And so I guess you could say this Supergirl is a part of the Trenchcoat Mafia, and that's pretty bad. That's not a good thing. I will say the only thing that I liked about the trailer is that I think that the actress, I'm a little biased because I think that Australian women are they're very special. They're very, very special, and so I really like her. Yeah. I think that she's actually pretty cool. I think that she, from the trailer at least, she's giving a pretty decent performance, but the character, I am not sold on at all. I do not like the character at all. I can't really see anything about her from this trailer. To be honest, like, this trailer, the music choice was strange. The song from Bride of Chucky, it did not really fit. I just didn't really get this trailer. It just felt like Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't really get a clear indication of, like, a story. The Superman trailer was so much better because it was so slow-paced and it took its time. And you had these grand and epic shots. You had the inspiring Superman theme. And, one big criticism that people had of the Superman movie was that they didn't make a new theme for Superman. Well, the thing is, I want all those people to come over to this trailer, to the Supergirl trailer. I want you guys to say something about why didn't they play the new Supergirl theme for this trailer? Why did they play a pop song from Bride of Chucky? Why did they play an 80s or 90s song like this is Guardians of the Galaxy? Another thing that I really didn't like was the fact that the color grading was horrible. It's so sloppy looking. It looks exactly like Superman. Very, very ugly. Just very, very modern. Just this ugly-ass film school color grading where, the emo editors, they're like, oh, everything has to look realistic. So we gotta ruin the movie. We gotta ruin how it looks and make it look like a bunch of sand. It just looks like a shitstorm of sand and shit. Another thing, this is probably the biggest issue I have with the trailer. And this really pissed me off. Literally. The trailer opens up with Krypto peeing all over a picture of Superman on the newspaper. To me, honestly, that's enough to turn me off from even seeing the movie. It's enough to make me seriously consider not even watching a single other DC movie that comes out, except for the Batman Part 2 and anything associated with that. Anything that doesn't involve James Gunn. The fact that you took Superman's picture and you have a shot of Krypto peeing all over it is the stupidest fucking shit I've ever fucking seen. Like, you couldn't have gotten, like, a newspaper with Lex Luthor on the cover and had him piss all over that. Like, you just had to have the dog piss all over Superman. Like, that's what James Gunn thinks of these characters. He doesn't give a fuck about them. He just wants to make everything into a big funny joke, into Guardians of the Galaxy bullshit. And by the way, there was a synopsis of this movie that came out. And it's so hilarious because remember how I said every movie nowadays has to be about a team? You can't have a main character who gets things accomplished by themselves. You have to have, everyone's got to be on a team. And so guess what, guys? The synopsis, it basically says that she's got to, like, team up with people to defeat the bad guy. Like, she's got to be on a team. Because with James Gunn and with all the other modern movie makers, except for me and a couple of others, everyone always has to be on a team. The bad guy's got to be on a team. The good guy's got to be on a team. Everyone's got to be on a team. No one can do anything by themselves. I bet James Gunn can't even wipe his own fucking ass. You know, he's that much of a fuckwad. He's probably got to have his wife do it. He's probably, maybe he has his dog lick his ass clean. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, maybe that was going a little too far, but like, seriously, I fucking hated this Supergirl trailer so badly. I hated it so much. It just, everything about this trailer turned me off. The poster for this movie with truth, justice, whatever, that's the tagline, is just such a big middle finger to Superman and to DC and just to America. Like, I'm not a big snowflake who's like, I don't like this, I don't like that, this is woke, that's woke. But I seriously have a problem with, look, the saying is truth, justice, and the American way. That's what Superman stands for. That's what he's always stood for. The fact that they took that and they replaced the American way with whatever tells me all I need to know about this movie, along with Crypto peeing all over Superman's picture. So yes, I probably will review this movie, but I'm definitely probably not going to see it in theaters, or I might, it depends. If the next trailer is good, I will see it in theaters, but that's if, because this movie, it has already turned me off. I'm not excited. Wow. So good job with that. This looks like another James Gunn movie. James Gunn did not direct this movie, but it basically looks like he did. You know, maybe he stuck his hand up Craig Gillespie's ass and he puppeteered Craig. You know, maybe he puppeteered the director. Kevin Feige, at the very least, you guys can agree with me on this. Kevin Feige and his entire team of executives, they get the director of the MCU movie in a room and they just gang rape the director until he does what they want him to do. And James Gunn, though, James Gunn has got to be super personal. He's got to stick his hand all the way up the director's ass and puppeteer him into doing what he wants. He's got Craig Gillespie's shit all over his arm and shit, you know, because he has reached all the way up Craig Gillespie's ass to puppeteer him into making this trash movie. He has puppeteered the man. He has puppeteered, and this is a good director. He made the Fright Night remake, which I think, to be quite honest with you guys, I think it is almost as good as the original. I have grown to like it a lot. But it's a very superficial movie. I think that this movie also looks very superficial. It looks kind of like a Redbox rental type of movie. You know, like, remember Redbox, guys? You go to Kroger, and after you pick up your diapers and your bread and your hamburger helper, you know, you go by the exit, and there's this big giant red box, and it's like, oh, what's that? And there's a bunch of crappy new modern movies there that you can rent for $1. And it's like, oh yeah, that new movie that I just didn't really care about seeing in theaters. Oh yeah, there's Supergirl. There's James Gunn's Supergirl. Oh no, wait, I mean Craig Gillespie's Supergirl. And, you know, the person who wrote it too, I think that he's putting her in charge of Wonder Woman, which is hilarious. Yeah, we'll see about that. So, I probably sound like the hugest hater in the world. I don't give a fuck. You guys understand that? I don't give a flying fuck. If I liked this trailer, I would have told you guys, hey, that looks damn good. Because I did that for Superman. I thought the Superman trailers were good. They did show way too much, though. That was a big problem with Superman. They showed, like, the whole movie in the trailers. So anyways, fuck this trailer up the ass. And so please like this video and comment and tell me what you thought of the trailer. What do you think about Millie Alcock? Do you think that she's all Superwoman, Supergirl? Or do you... Or do you think that she... I'm so determined, like, I hope that she has a kid and like, she names him, like, a really... Like, I could just imagine the names that you could name, like, an Alcock with, you know, like Marco Alcock, or something like James Alcock. I could just imagine. But anyways, that's a little too personal. I just think it would be hilarious. And then please subscribe to our channel if you appreciate honest movie reviews and honest reviews. Because there's a lot of YouTube channels right now. They're a bunch of fakes. They're a bunch of phonies. You got your Chris Stuckmans. You got your Grace Randolphs. And basically all they have to offer is slop and is shill bullshit. At least I offer the truth. And that's what Supergirl says. She says that she sees the truth. Hey, Supergirl, what'd you think about your movie's trailer? I think it looks like shit. That's what she would say. That's what Supergirl would say. If she sees the truth, she will say that this trailer looks like shit. We'll see what the other shills have to say, though. You know, they probably really loved it. It probably looks like the next Guardians of the Galaxy to them, which is, it's very, very accurate. I'm glad they say so. And then lastly, if you guys also enjoyed this video, I have a Patreon page. The link is in the description. I had a short movie that just came out. Not a lot of people have seen it, which is a shame because I think that you guys would love it. If you love horror, if you love colorful movies, it's very, very colorful. It's a very fun 38-minute story. It's basically like a TV show episode. And hey, it's only $5 if you just want to rent the movie, or if you want to see an hour and 40 minutes of behind the scenes and tons of other content. All of that is on my Patreon page right now. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry that this video was a little mean-spirited, but I just got really pissed off watching this trailer, honestly. I haven't gotten that pissed off in a while. So that says something. So goodbye, everybody. See you soon.